And this is episode 7 of the Lifestylepreneur podcast. And I'm so excited for our guest today, Giles, who is going to teach you how to get 15,000 Twitter followers in less than 60 days with our dynamic techniques. Welcome to the Lifestylepreneur podcast. I'm your host, Kris Gilbertson, and I'm an author, speaker, and an expert on how to help you launch your own successful podcast. And the reason I designed this show is to help you create a business that allows you to live the lifestyle of your dreams. Tune in every Friday as I'll be interviewing top experts and lifestylepreneurs from all over the world who will share with you actionable training and advice to give you the insider track on taking your business to the next level. I'm going to work really hard for you to pull out the most incredible nuggets of training from all of these experts. And the best part, it's all free just for you. And be sure to join us at www.lifestyleacademy.com and subscribe to receive your free 3-part mini podcast course to help you launch your own podcast and on your way to generating free leads, traffic, and sales on autopilot and creating the platform for your lifestyle business. Plus, I'll also be sending you the cliff notes from the best of the best trainings on the podcast, delivered right to your inbox to make it easy for you to implement these strategies and move forward in your business. Now, let's get started. Well, welcome everyone. I'm so excited today for my guest, Giles, who actually is the co-founder of showcasingwomen.com. And it's actually a really unique story of how we got connected. It was actually through the social networks. And for me, I don't know about you, Angela, but I found you through FriendFeed, which was actually how I first started finding out about you, which is so funny because it's such a small little network.
Yeah.
But then we got connected on all these other big ones.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how I found out. I was actually for my podcast, I posted over there and I was like, oh, and then I saw these other experts on there and that's how I got to find you. So anyway, then I found you over on the other spaces as well. But what's great about Angela, she's really the premier resource for over 30 million women entrepreneurs across the world. Angela and her business partners, Suzanne Durrett, they've been bringing vastly different business experiences and lifestyles to the table for all of these women entrepreneurs that they work with. And together, they're changing lives by helping I cannot talk today. They're changing lives by helping entrepreneurial women to thrive in all areas of their business and life. And so what I'm really excited to do is bring her on today, and we're going to talk specifically and drill down into Twitter because Twitter is so powerful. And I think most of us, if you're like me, are confused on Twitter, and she's going to demystify all of that for us.
Absolutely.
So Angela, welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm really excited to be here, Kris. I'm thrilled, and this is so exciting to me because I just moved my family again across country, and so, it's been a few weeks since I've been able to connect with people, really face to face. So this is the first time again. So I'm just super excited. I love connecting with people face to face. I love the social networks, but it's always fun to see someone's face and get to know them, more on a one-on-one basis. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share with you our knowledge and truly help women. And that's my goal. And that's why I'm here today, is to really help those women entrepreneurs, not only just, a six-figure earner, someone that, works a job and does a part-time business, someone that's in between, someone that's struggling, someone that's not struggling. Just really, there's a home, for you with our company and with all of us. We all really are here to give back because in doing that, it helps us further our goals. There's a good, selfish and non-selfish reason for it, I think.
Yeah, well, it's collaborative. Rising tide rises all ships, and the better we get all together, it's phenomenal. I love that philosophy and what you and Suzanne have created. It's just incredible. So first, I want you to share how you broke into the field as an expert and how you launched this phenomenal women's organization.
Well, to be very frank with you, I started online in 2002. I believe. I made 6 figures. I worked for a company. I was an IT manager, project manager.
Okay.
Did really well for myself, worked for a telecommunications company, and had 2 babies and never saw them. I was gone 14 hours a day, so I quit.
Yeah.
We had all these rentals, and I quit my job. My husband made like pittance, so I was the main breadwinner. And I started a daycare, right? So I could make ends meet. The long and short of it is I love being on the computer, and I love people. I'm a social queen, but I also like technology, so it's kind of weird, a weird mix. But the long and short of it is I'm like, okay, I want to get online and see how I can make money. So, but we were really broke at that time because I was no longer working, and daycare just helped pay a little bit. So what I did, this is how ingenious I was. I hired a nanny to come in. She got free room and board because I had my own. I had an extra room in my home, and then I took the money I made from the daycare kids and paid her salary. So she watched all the kids, and then we had this old piece of crap computer. I took it, drug it into my huge laundry room with an old desk. I got it at a yard sale for $20. I sat there 10 hours a day. It took me about 4 months, and I started to research, and I practiced. I lost a lot of money, too. I racked up my credit cards. You know how that is when you just get online.
Yep, been there.
Yeah. So I got my start by learning how to generate leads for free on eBay. I wrote an ebook about it, charged $37 for the ebook, and other methods for free lead gen for moms that were stay-at-home moms. It was kind of that whole thing.
Yeah.
And I just went from there, and I just, got involved in social media when it first came out. And so I love social media. It was perfect for me because it's technology, networks, and people combined. And that's how I got my start. And I really, really enjoy it. I've done some work in publicity as well, and it's just phenomenal. And so that's how I got started myself. Showcasing women, fabulous concept. Suzanne DeRay, amazing woman. She's done over 7 startups. She's made millions. Her first product she sold to a medical company made millions of dollars in like 22 months. She's an amazing woman. I met her a little over a year ago through a mutual friend on Facebook. We had lunch. We did a few things together, and then we decided we worked so well together because we're so different but so alike. It's like a marriage, a good marriage, but a great partnership. And she had already started showcasing women, but she brought me on board. So, we rebirthed it, if you will. And I do all the social media strategy, all the lead gen, like people hiring, stuff like that. She does sponsorship, everything else. We have this huge vision. We're all about being, everything is free to women that come to our site. We have infographics, podcasts, articles, edutainment, mini flicks nobody else is doing. It's phenomenal what we're doing. We have sponsors, Visa Small Business, to name one. I mean, it's just fun, and it's great, and we're really excited to give back. We want women to understand we are the premier resource. Come to us. You can find anything on our website.
I love it.
No matter where you're at. We even have a new private Facebook group. Well, it's not private. It's open, but it's for women entrepreneurs. And you can come in, and we teach you everything you want to know. You learn, grow, and thrive. It doesn't cost a dime. There's no self-promotion. It's just all facilitated and all about learning, sharing, and thriving.
I love it.
So, yeah. So we're so excited about the model because we're not in this we don't necessarily want to coach. We want to bring women so they can come to and get the information. It's free of charge. It is there. You just come and get it and learn and grow. So that is our philosophy.
I love it. It's brilliant. And what you've created, it's so incredible, especially when and I can't even imagine what it's like being a mompreneur, having kids and a family. I mean, I can barely manage my day as it is, and I don't have a family yet. So I think that's amazing what you're doing to give, because we all know when we go online, there's just so much stuff to try to figure out and understand. It's just a big ocean, and you don't even know how to navigate or even where to start. You're just kind of thrown in there. So I just love what you both have created together and where you're taking this. So I love for you to share, because your story, and I didn't know that, your story is so phenomenal. I mean, you just took what you had and you made it happen and you figured it out. So I'd love for you to share some of the roadblocks that you went through that you were able to overcome.
Yeah, well, let me tell you one. Right before I did the whole laundry room thing, here's what happened. I had joined an MLM because I thought, because I like networking and I like women, and I thought, so I joined a really fabulous MLM, and I had been a Mary Kay director before, so I'm good with people, and I joined this MLM, and we were really short on money, right? I mean, you know my story, and we had $67 left literally in our account, and so I took that money and I said to my husband, I'm going to make flyers with my girlfriend. We're going to go put them out on these brand new condos on these doors. We're going to try the door-to-door thing, right? We thought we could drum up some business, get some customers, because it was like a woman facial type business. Went out at like 5:30 in the morning, came back around 6:45. This is so funny. I get in bed, right? I'm in my underwear, in bed, going back to sleep. I had 3 babies all in the same room. Oh, my gosh. My husband's sleeping, and I hear this loud pop. loud pop, and then my fire alarm starts going off. It was my house that started on fire. My um my hot water tank had exploded in the garage, and we had some paint thinner, and the whole thing just went crazy. The firemen came, and I remember I had on holy underwear, like literally holes in my underwear, thinking, oh my God, I should have spent that money and bought new underwear, because I'm out in the backyard with all my kids screaming like a banshee, of course. Tell my husband, don't open the garage door. To open, I'm like, the oxygen, da da da. We had this big fence around these. All the neighbors were gathering. The firemen were there. I'm climbing up this ladder in my underwear that are full of holes. I'm like, good Lord, I should have saved my money. And of course, nothing ever came of those fires. So that is when I knew that I needed to do something different, right? Mm-hmm. So that is one roadblock I overcame. But a lot of it is just time management. That was a huge roadblock that I had to overcome. Having confidence in myself. You get down sometimes.
Yep.
All of those kind of things. But I've always tried to be really creative and come up with creative solutions, because when you don't have it, you don't have it. But there's a way. There's always a way if you're creative. That's what I have found anyway.
Yeah. No, that's what a story, first of all. Was everything okay with the house, or what ended up happening?
Well, the whole inside of the garage burnt down, everything. We lost, everything. But the firemen came enough, so we were out of our house for a while. I don't know, 3 weeks or something. They had to redo the whole, redo everything. We lived in a hotel, but I started, working right after that. That's when I started in my laundry room.
Right. So it's just, and the mindset, and that's the other thing I like about the group that you've created too, is especially when you first get started as an entrepreneur, if you've been working in a corporate environment and now you are by yourself, it's the mind games. So I love that. So what were the first steps that you took to launch your business?
Just a lot of research.
Mm-hmm.
I spent hours researching. And then I found someone that I liked their website, so I copied it, not like verbatim, but like the format.
Right, modeled it. Mm-hmm.
WordPress, the basics of WordPress, and started playing. And I would spend, when the kids would be napping, or I'd have one over here, that was out of me, mom, and I learned how to do basic HTML coding. I taught myself. So I know this sounds, and I wouldn't give someone necessarily the same advice today. I'd be more like, try to barter, do things like that, hire to do the things that you're as good at. But I was a novice. I had no clue. I just tried it. It was fun for me.
Right.
So, that's what I did. Yeah. I just researched, and I would implement one thing. Then I would research and implement another thing. And then I learned about lead generation on eBay, so I wrote a book about it. And then I started selling it on Craigslist. And so it just goes on and on.
Yeah. So what I want to get into is your Twitter strategy, because it is phenomenal. It works so incredibly well. And I'm going to start implementing this now, because now I'm getting into Twitter. I like to try to do one thing at a time, so I'm not too spread out. So what I'd love for you to share is who should be on Twitter, first of all, and why they should be using it. Well,
let me back up real quick. Here's what I tell people with Twitter. The people that should be on Twitter are the people that have their ideal client on Twitter. Mm-hmm. If your ideal client doesn't hang out on Twitter, then you shouldn't be on. I mean, it's not that you can't be on Twitter, but you need to spend the time interacting with the people that are your ideal client, right? Mm-hmm. So, I would say a good 80% of people, their ideal client, you can find on Twitter, because Twitter is so diverse, but not everyone. So I do have to say that piece. But I would say a good 80% of ideal clients can be found on Twitter, right? Unless you have some really specialized, weird, cool niche that, your clients are found somewhere else, whether it be LinkedIn, Instagram, who knows, Pinterest. I mean, there's a million different networks out there. But do you understand my point?
Yeah, well, let's break it down just a little bit further, just so anybody that might have questions on that. Who are the typical demographic of Twitter?
So
who's on Twitter?
The typical demographic of Twitter. I mean, you find obviously the artists, the musicians, people for edutainment, homemakers. I mean, people in business there, authors, bloggers, networkers, internet marketers. Women that are home and they like to get on Twitter and communicate with their friends and tweet about their kids. You'll even find big, huge brands on Twitter. A lot of big, huge brands are on Twitter because they're trying to reach their massive base. So, I mean, the demographic is huge. But if you're a small business owner, you definitely can find your ideal client there. As long as your niche is something that's not completely, super unique, like you sell pink elephants or something. That's harder to find.
Where it's really small. So the main strategy, and I want you to talk about what's the main strategy to use for Twitter for business owners, whether they're a brick and mortar or they're a coach or speaker author.
Yeah. Absolutely. So the very first thing that I tell people to do is this. Obviously sign up and make sure that your profile is professional. You don't put a picture of yourself in a bathing suit unless you're selling swimsuits, right? Mm-hmm. You look professional, just look nice. Okay? Make sure your bio is keyword rich. So that means keywords that relate to your business are inside your bio. If you're a speaker, put speaker. If you're from Toronto and you're you have a pizza company, you have a pizza, God, I can't even think of the word. A pizza diner, whatever, a pizza restaurant. Mm-hmm. You put pizza restaurant in Toronto, right? So if someone's searching on Twitter, you'll pull up in the feed. Okay, so it's just really important. You put your website, put everything that you can out there about yourself. Second of all, this is what I tell people to do. You need to start building relationships with people that are influential already in your niche. Okay, here's what I do. I go out to Twello. TWELLOW.com, and it's called the Yellow Pages of Twitter. Now you can do this on Twitter too, but I found Twello just gives me better results. In the way their search functionality is set up, I don't know all the specifics behind it, but I just get better results there. So I go to Twello. You obviously want to register yourself, but then do a search. They have categories, anything almost that you can think of. You can do a search in there and you can find who is the most influential person in your category. And then I pick 10 of them and I start following them. I start retweeting their content and start building relationships with them, because if you retweet their content enough, they'll start looking at you. They'll get in touch with you. They'll answer your questions. They'll start retweeting your content. When they start retweeting your content, if you imagine your content going out to their 100,000 followers, mm-hmm. all of a sudden you get this influx of new followers, right?
Yep.
So that is number one, my key strategy as far as building influential. You build relationships with influential followers, and then start following other people that are in your niche. Here's what we do at Showcasing Women. We actually we created a list. We did some research off Twello, found out who the top 100 women entrepreneurs were. We have an influential list. Then we went in, we started building relationships with them, but we also started following their followers. Now, obviously, we're selective. We don't do anything automated. It's all, we have a person that actually goes in, looks at other people's bios and their tweets, and if they fit our criteria of a woman entrepreneur that we think would be great to build a relationship with, it doesn't matter how big or small your business is, we follow you.
I love it. This is just incredible. So I want to back up one step though.
Sure,
I want you to explain, why did you choose Twitter to maximize your traffic and opt-ins? And because we're going to talk more about that, versus the other social networks.
The reason we chose Twitter is because we did everything on a shoestring budget. We wanted to show women how you can start your business with, if you have money, fabulous that you can invest. If you don't, fabulous too. We're going to show you how you can do it either way, right? But we wanted to prove to people that it could be done. And so what we did is we said, look, Twitter is where you can maximize your relationships. You can build relations simultaneously with literally hundreds, if not thousands of women at any single given second. So, it makes complete sense, right? It's logical. So that's what we did. We took our Twitter following, I think it was under 60 days or 90 days. I'd have to look at the stats, to 15,000, right? And here's the thing. Then we went into our content strategy. When we first started out, we followed the 80-20 rule. 80% fabulous content about other people. Anything we could give, we would do Google alerts. So anything that was related to women entrepreneurs, anything in the woman, arena, we would share out to our followers. As we built our follower base, we were giving them incredible content. 20% was about us. Then as we started to grow, and we started fulfilling, Showcasing Women's dream, which is to have this huge, massive portal of content, we started sharing some of our own content, because in our mind, we're like, look, the 80% can be shifted now to some degree because we have so much incredible content. We have guest bloggers, we have other people writing. It's all free to you and it's all fabulous content. There's no charge. We're not telling you anything. We're giving you this incredible content, and all our content is curated from the things that we find online through our Google alerts and through other mechanisms that we use to find out what's going on online.
Oh, brilliant. So I want to back up because you totally said something. You said that what I want to know is your specific steps on what you did to go from 0 to 15,000 in less than 60 days. I mean, that's phenomenal. So how does that work?
So basically what I did is, once again, we found our top 10 women, and then I built that list to 100. Like within the first 2 weeks, I had a list of 100 women.
Perfect.
So I found 100. See, I always start small with our smaller, with clients, but with us, I
blew it up. Yep.
Yeah. So I had a list of 100 women that were influential, and I hired someone to go in and start following their followers, right? So we built up this huge. You can follow 1,000. We followed 1,000 women a day, right?
Yeah.
And out of those 1,000 women, we had several that would follow us back. And that's what I did. And then I did that every single day. And then I did a lot of engaging, a lot of retweeting, a lot of engaging with my influential women, as well as the women that followed us. And then I implemented the 80-20 rule at the same time, where I was sharing content. Every hour, I have at least 4 different tweets that go out that are all content-based.
Oh.
Okay. Whether it's, or they're some sort of engaging question, content-based, news. Sometimes I'll throw a positive quote in there, just different things of that nature. We have a few contests running right now, so we might have some opt-ins mingled in there. And then we do engaging, constant engaging.
Excellent.
When I say that, I mean retweeting. The other advanced marketing strategy that we're doing right now is we actually will look at someone's bio and we'll see if we can find a match to some great content that we have that's free that we can share back with them. If they're posing questions out there, how do I do PR or how do I do social media? We're like, oh, look, we've got this podcast on this. We've got this article, and we'll share that with them.
Yes.
Now, obviously, I do some other things that I'm going to be implementing that are more advanced, but you said the 0 to 15,000 in such a short period of time. That's what we did. And here's what happened because we became known really quick for giving so much content, and we were building relationships by engaging so much. It was just like the snowball that took off, and so many people would just start following us. We would get recommendations, and we're building these relationships with these influential women. They'd start retweeting our stuff, so their followers would follow us. It was just like this big snowball.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I think that's absolutely brilliant. So for any business owner, they can go in and use Twello, find the top people in their niche, their specific, do the exact same strategy, follow them, and then have a virtual assistant, an intern, a whomever go in and then start to connect with their followers, and then just make sure you're putting content out. Now I know you put 4 tweets out an hour, but for the most people, we probably can't do that as if that's not their super main strategy. How many tweets do you think people should be doing on a daily basis?
That's that's a difficult question. I'll answer that the best I can because it really depends on your business. And here's the other thing. It depends on where your clients are located. See, our clients, 80% of U.S. and Canada are located in the Eastern Standard and the Central Standard time zone, right? So we tailor all of our tweets to Eastern Standard Time, even though I'm Pacific Standard, right?
Yep.
So I know when those women on the East Coast and the Central Standard Time are waking up at 6 a.m., it's 3 a.m. my time, right? But I tailor my content to go out at their time. So the first thing I would say to answer that question is find out where your ideal client resides. If it's everywhere, that's one thing. But for most people, it's, different time brackets. And then you need to make sure that you're tweeting during those times. And then second of all, figure out how much content you have time to curate. And if so, try to fill it during those times. I mean, they do say the peak times, in the evening between 5 and 9 p.m., and once again, if they're Eastern Standard, then obviously I'm going to focus on that time.
Right.
Now, we also have a lot of UK women and Canadian, or not Canadian, we do have Canadian, but UK, Australia. Well, their peak time for me my times are 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., so I do a lot of content during those times. So, you have to develop your own formula based on your own business and your own clients.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, though, and I'm glad you clarified that because some people just say tweet, but you want to have a strategy that's going to have impact and leverage your time. You don't want to just be using it. So, and what are some of the tools that you use to automate that? Because you're obviously not getting up at Hootsuite.
We use Hootsuite hands down. We use Hootsuite to schedule everything, but we also use Hootsuite for engagement. And the way that we do our engagement is we do it in real time. We go in 4 times a day in 15-minute intervals, and we engage with people.
I love it.
So it's not, and our tweeting, our engagement is not automated. It's all, I'm in there, or someone on our team is in there engaging with these women in real time.
Yep. I love it.
So even though it says it's coming from Hootsuite, we're in Hootsuite engaging, just because Hootsuite lets you put women in lists. You can put different women in different lists. Influential, you could put women that, are authors in a list. You could put women that are, into MLM in a list. I mean, you could do all kinds of different things. So,
yeah, you can start to organize it and make it systematized. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So how do you really procure new clients from Twitter, though?
How do I procure? Well, are you asking me, or because our model is a little different? Or are you asking in general?
I would think for the person, the average entrepreneur that is just getting on Twitter, how are they going to use this to actually get clients in their business?
So first of all, you're engaging, so you're building a relationship of trust. You know that it takes on average 7 times for you to connect with someone before they purchase from you. That's just average across the board. I mean, it varies, but that's average. So you have to connect with them. They have to see good content. So here's the strategy I would recommend. You have a free opt-in on your blog or on your website, right? And you share articles, you share content from your website that's good, solid content. It has to be good, videos, you name it. You put it out there on your website. So when people are going to your website, and if your opt-in is done well, they will opt into your list. And then obviously through your list, you have a schedule where you're sending out information, newsletters on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, or twice a week. I always get confused what that means, the bi-weekly or
Right, twice a month, twice a week. What is it?
We do it twice a week,
yep.
Right? Some people do it once a week, but at least once a week or twice a week, send out a newsletter, and in your newsletter you can sell, right? I mean, obviously part of it is good information, but part of it is sell. So you're building that relationship, you're building the pipeline. So that's how I would encourage them. The other thing you can do is you can actually schedule what we call opt-ins. You can free opt-ins. We have one that works really well. It's our epic traffic strategies for women entrepreneurs, and I'll schedule that 2 or 3 times a day, and it's free, and it's a fabulous download. Women love it. It's chock full of free information. That's the other thing that you can do. So there's two concepts. One, there's passive, where you drive them to traffic on your website, or content on your website, and they see your opt-in, they opt in. And then the second is more, in your face kind of thing, but in a good way.
Right.
Where you just tweet out an opt-in.
Right. So let's talk about the tweet then, because that's the most. It's like the Mark Schaefer likes to call it the movie trailer before the movie, and I love it because it really is. So we have 140 characters. How do we maximize that for how do we maximize it? Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a great question, and you have to think of Twitter. It's not like Facebook language. Twitter is more like texting on your cell phone, right? So you want to be professional to an extent, but at the same time, you have to think about how can I get my message out there without, being too wordy, because tweets go like this. It's like this revolving, thing. So you have to think of catchy headlines. I ask a lot of questions in my headlines, intriguing headlines that people will click on. In fact, I did this whole report once on that, where I had 10 different headline type of different kinds of headlines that people actually could use to write intriguing tweets. But the point is that it has to be intriguing, or you have to ask a question, and then if you want to send them somewhere, you have to have a link. But you want to try to keep your tweet I try to keep it to 120 characters, because if someone wants to retweet it, with Twitter it does that @ and then their username, so you don't want your link to be cut off.
Oh,
so
smart.
You have to keep it down. And a lot of times, instead of saying YOU, you say you, like, the letter U. Just be very concise but creative in what you're writing. That is what I found. You can do more advanced strategies like hashtags and things like that. I love those tweet chats, but for purposes of this interview, I won't go into all of that.
Yeah. No, and that's super powerful just in itself to keep it short. What are some of your best headlines and tweets?
Like, for example, our opt-in, right? Women entrepreneurs need free traffic strategies to explode your business. But I do your biz. question, and then the link.
Perfect.
You know, or epic traffic strategies for women entrepreneurs, free blueprint.
Easy. I love it. Yeah, simple, short.
Exactly.
Yep. So, and then you drive traffic back to that squeeze page or that landing page or that website is where you're doing that. And then the other times is you're putting other content out, like maybe quotes or other free information. How much?
News.
What was that?
News. What's going on in your sphere? Videos.
Perfect. And then with the videos now, if you actually send them from YouTube, they show up. Is that part of
I don't send them to YouTube and most people probably will, but our model is we have edutainment mini flicks, which no one else is doing, actually hosted on our site.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, it's really exciting. What we've done is we've taken education and we turn it into edutainment. Mm-hmm. So we have these, what we call edutainment mini flicks. They're like anywhere from, a minute and a half to 4 minutes long. And we actually teach you, just because studies have been done that people love video and they seem to retain it better. So we'll teach you on any topic that you need to know as an entrepreneur. You can go into our edutainment mini flicks. I mean, we have topics from, traffic generation strategies and savvy negotiation, virtual assistants, time management, you name it. You can go in there and watch a short mini flick, and they're fun and exciting. So with us, I just take the headline, I write, I take a creative headline, free mini flick or free movie or 2-minute movie, check it out, with the link.
I love it.
And we get tons and tons and tons of great feedback on that.
Oh, that's great. I mean, that's what people are looking for. They're looking for education, but they want it fun. People want entertainment today with the rise of YouTube and with all the different platforms now where everybody is engaging. They want it to be fun, and people learn the best that way too. So this has been phenomenal. This information, I mean, everything that you just taught right now, people can go out and implement immediately right now and start having success on Twitter. So I think that's phenomenal. Yeah. So I want to shift gears and talk about your business of how you have the platform you guys have built, because I love what you're creating. I'm curious though, as a business owner, how are you monetizing your platform and using this as a solid business?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm telling you, this is really exciting to share. So what you're going to start seeing on our website within the next 2 weeks to a month, unless you're watching this video and it's already implemented, we are taking successful women, and we are actually going to be selling their products in our success store. We are bringing on I think we have about 25 different guest bloggers, so that you will start to see a lot of different guest bloggers. Well, obviously, we're showcasing them, right? We're showcasing our women guest bloggers. We're showcasing other women because we wanted to be true to our name in our success store. Here's how we're monetizing. We are bringing on sponsors. We're being approached by sponsors. I cannot even tell you how exciting it is because they see we have this huge platform for women.
Yep.
And so our sponsors are footing the bill for every woman on the planet that wants to come to our site and get this information for free. Right? That is one of the other ways. The other way we're starting something new. It's really exciting, but basically we're going to have a situation where we have a network of over 15 million women, where someone could come and place an advertisement, say instead of the Super Bowl, they can come to us and say, look, you know what women want. So we'd like to place an advertisement with you and your network, and we have a network of other women that meet our criteria that have women followers, like say on Twitter. And so, say a sponsor gives us a certain amount of money, then, these other women can apply to be in our network, and they can have a piece of the pie by sharing, say, for example, on Twitter or on the blog or whatever. So that's something else we're implementing. So that's how we're monetizing. I know those are really high level, and there's a lot of levels to it. But the point is it's all about corporations are really paying attention to the woman entrepreneur right now.
Well, I mean, the studies show women are creating businesses at double the rate men. And women entrepreneurs, we generally make 80% of the buying decisions in the family. So, I mean, that's why sponsorship is huge for that. So I love that. I think that's absolutely incredible. And I love that you have built the platform first, and you built your audience and really created such trust and just incredible information.
We've spent 8 months of solid building.
Yeah.
Without bringing in a dime. All we did was build.
Yep.
Because we felt that was so crucial.
Well, it is for the relationships, and there are so many places out there where people can go, but you want a network where you really can, it's fostered for education and connection. People are looking, I believe, for connection a lot today, so I just love what you guys have built, and I can't wait to see. I know when this comes out, it might already be in place, but it'll be really exciting to see what you have.
Oh, it is. I mean, we already have sponsors now, but it's just exciting how it's going to go and go and go, and we're starting to become well-known, and it's fun, and I like it because we're doing something good. Exactly. And it's different from what everybody else is doing.
It totally is. So I just love that, and congratulations! I'm so excited that what you guys have built is just amazing. So I want to talk to you about what trends you see for this content marketing space that we're all in.
Well, what we see is that content curation is becoming huge, almost like crowd
funding, sourcing. Yeah,
but crowd content creation. If you will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, that's the space we're moving into, and we really feel like ad agencies, if you will, around the social media sphere are going to become huge in 2014 and onward. Because if you think about it, how many, especially and women that are women centric, and I mean, I even see a place where men. Daddy bloggers are starting to become a trend too, so we're even, we have some ideas there too. But yeah, we definitely see a trend of, really understanding the woman marketplace and building a business around that. And that's exactly what we're doing, because Suzanne is completely different than I am. And, she's a serial entrepreneur. She has no children. She's got 2 cats. She's got a fabulous fiance. I'm a mom. I've got 3 boys and 2 dogs and a husband and a crazy life.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so, to us, we bring completely different perspectives to the table, but we have the whole package. We understand women.
Yep.
We can understand any woman for the most part. So this is what I'm trying to tell other women that are building businesses. Look at the trend. Mm-hmm. Women entrepreneurs. Companies are investing money in women entrepreneurs. You need to understand it. You need to really understand your ideal clients and really speak to that, because it's just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. So anything in the space of women, I think that you could build a really good business as long as you stick to it. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. And just with more women stepping up in this space, because it's natural for us. We're natural communicators, and people really connect online with women. Not that they don't with men, but just there's already a natural level of trust there. So I love what you're talking about and where things are going. Yeah. And I want more women to step up and start their businesses and create their lifestyle that they want around their families or business. Yeah.
They really will. Mm-hmm. They will. It's just a confidence thing, and we address that too. We feel like that's the number one thing why women struggle.
Well, it's our mindset to know, to believe in ourselves enough. And I mean, I struggle with that for so long. Like, oh, am I really the expert? Can I do this? And so just getting focused and being really confident with yourself, but having that platform where you can connect with other women entrepreneurs, I think is so powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this has been absolutely phenomenal. So the last question I have for you, it's the 5-minute makeover. It's $1 million question. If you had to start all over today from scratch, and you didn't have any of the relationships that you had without knowing anyone, and you don't have any of the resources that you have now today, what would you do to rebuild your empire?
I would get out on social media and start making friends and connecting with people. I would start on Twitter again. And start building, because that's the fastest network that I know that I can build relationships right now. With their more open door policy, Facebook is really tight in their reins. It's harder. You can only send a certain amount of friend requests and be in a certain, it's just harder. There's more spam.
Right.
Twitter, I would start with Twitter, and I would just start building relationships, and I wouldn't be afraid. I would just go out and start talking to anyone. I don't care who or where you are, what you do. I talk to you. I build a relationship, and then we mutually can help each other.
I love it.
That is what I would do if I was starting from ground zero. I had no friends online. I was a newbie. That's what I would do.
I love it. Brilliant. Well, do you have any other advice for the entrepreneurs listening in today?
Yes. Believe in yourself. Don't get too scattered. Pick one thing. Research, implement, but don't get stuck on dotting your I's and crossing your T's too much. Yes, it's good to be professional, but too much that it stifles you. Believe in yourself, and then come visit our website and learn from us, because we have everything out there that can help you.
Exactly.
Join our group, Born to Blaze.
So say the website again.
Well, we're showcasingwomen.com, but we have a Facebook group called Born to Blaze. It's an open group of women entrepreneurs, and it's not one of those groups where you find all the spam. It's truly people interacting and finding good, cool information.
I love it. And we're going to have one of Angela's offers to help people get started and launch right away that we're going to have in the show notes and all the information that you can come back over to the website to gather. So I'll make sure that we put that all in there for everybody. But thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome.
This has been a blast. I look forward to having you back in the future.
Thank you, Kris.
Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed that episode. I'd love to get your feedback here for the Lifestylepreneur podcast right in iTunes. Simply leave us a 5-star and a review letting us know what you like, who you're interested in hearing more from, and what topics you really want help with in your business that I can bring on those key experts to really fine tune and help you in your business and creating the lifestyle of your dreams. And I'll be giving shout outs, so make sure you put your name and your website address if you want me to share that with the community as well. And again, thanks for listening. I'm so excited that you found the Lifestylepreneur podcast, and I can't wait to connect with you and learn more about your business as we continue to grow this community. So again, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next week. Thank you for tuning in to the Lifestylepreneur podcast. Again, I'm Kris Gilbertson, and I'm committed to bringing you top training from leading lifestylepreneurs all over the world to help you break through and turn your dreams into your ideal lifestyle. And make sure to join us at www.lifestyleacademy.com to receive VIP training from specific guests I interview on the show so that you can really easily start to implement what you've learned from listening. I know we're all busy, and sometimes we don't have time to listen to the entire podcast or take notes because I'm always listening on the go. So I like to call it the Lifestyle Cliff Notes to creating your ideal business and make it really simple for you. So those will be sent via the email list. Plus, I also want to connect with you personally, and being on the Lifestyle Academy mailing list is where all the magic happens. We'll host VIP trainings once a month that we can't always bring out on the podcast with even more detailed information. And I also want to connect with you personally. I want to know what's going on in your business and what you need help with and who I can bring on to aid you in creating your ideal lifestyle. And so I'll be asking questions every once in a while that I want you to reply, and I reply back to you personally. So again, until next time, wishing you on your way to achieving all of your dreams. Talk to you soon.